My name is Aarav. I am 19 years old. I live in a small apartment near the old market road. The area is always busy, always loud, always full of people. But even with all that noise, my life feels strangely quiet. I spend most of my days moving from home to college and from college back home without anyone really noticing me. I'm shy, I stay silent, and I avoid attention. Most people around me talk, laugh, live their lives. But I walk like a shadow in the background. I look like just another face in the crowd. Since childhood, I have always felt invisible. I never knew why. Maybe because I speak softly. Maybe because I avoid big groups. Or maybe because I fear that people will judge me. In college, things did not change. The classrooms were full of voices, but none of them were mine. I sat in the corner seat. I kept my head down. When teachers asked questions, I prayed they would not look at me. During lunch breaks, I walked through the campus garden, holding my sandwich, eating alone, looking at others sitting in groups. I saw them laughing, sharing stories, teasing each other. And I wondered, why can't I be like them? Every day I felt the same thing, a heavy, quiet loneliness. There were moments when I tried to smile at someone, but they walked past me. I tried to join a group once, but they didn't even hear my hello. It was like my voice was too small for this big world. At night, when I sat on my bed, I looked at the ceiling and whispered to myself, maybe I don't matter. Those words hurt. They felt sharp, cold, and true. I still remember one evening very clearly. The sun was going down and the sky was soft orange. I was walking home after college, moving through a busy street. Cars were honking, people were talking, shops were closing. But even in all that noise, I felt alone, completely alone. I stopped near the traffic signal, waiting for the light to turn green. Hundreds of people were around me, but not a single person looked at me. I felt like I was lost in the middle of the world, with no place to go. My chest felt tight, my eyes felt warm, and for the first time, tears slowly filled my eyes in a public place. I quickly wiped them, hoping no one saw. But no one did. No one even turned. No one even noticed. At that moment, I felt something break inside me. A small voice whispered again, "You are invisible, Aarav. You are not important." I walked home slowly, feeling the weight of the whole world on my shoulders. The loneliness inside me felt deeper than ever. That night, I sat on the edge of my bed, holding my head in my hands. I asked myself, why do I feel this way? Why can't I connect with anyone? Why am I always alone? And for a long time, I had no answer. But life had other plans, and the change came from a place I never expected. It was a cold Monday morning. I was sitting in the library, trying to finish my assignment. My headphones were in, but I wasn't listening to anything. They were just my shield from the world. While I was writing, someone gently tapped my shoulder. I looked up, surprised. A girl was standing there. Short hair, round glasses, a simple smile. She looked kind. She said, "Hi, I'm Meera. May I sit here? The library is full today." My heart jumped, not because she was beautiful, but because someone actually saw me. I pushed my bag aside and nodded quietly. Sure, you can sit. She smiled and sat next to me. For a few minutes, we didn't talk. The silence felt comfortable. After a while, she leaned slightly toward me and said, "You know, I see you here almost every day. You always sit alone." I froze. Someone noticed that. Before I could answer, she continued, "I sit alone too, but it gets heavy sometimes." Her words touched something deep inside me. I looked at her, really looked at her, and realized something. She looked lonely too, just like me. That day changed everything. We talked for the first time. Her voice was soft, slow, and warm. She told me she was also shy, also quiet, also afraid of groups. "I always feel lost in the crowd," she said, "and unseen." For a moment, I didn't feel alone anymore. I felt understood. We talked about classes, about books, about how difficult it is to speak up in groups. She laughed gently at one of my small jokes, and that laugh felt like sunlight after a long winter. When the librarian announced closing time, Meera said, "Let's walk outside together." Those words felt like a small miracle. Over the next few weeks, everything started to shift. Not all at once, but slowly, softly, gently. We met in the library almost every day. We sat together during breaks. We walked home together sometimes. She never pushed me to talk. She never judged my silence. She just stayed close, stayed kind. And with her, I started opening up. I began to share small things, my fears, my dreams, my struggles with loneliness. She listened, without interrupting, without rushing. One day, when I told her how invisible I felt, she looked at me and said, "Aarav, you are not invisible. You just need someone who understands your quietness. And I do." Her words stayed with me for days. Slowly, my life started to feel lighter. I noticed the world a little more. I noticed people more. I started smiling at small things: a warm cup of tea, a soft evening breeze, a peaceful morning walk. And something amazing happened. When I changed from inside, the world around me changed too. People in my class began greeting me. A few classmates invited me to sit with them. Some even asked for help with assignments. I realized something important. I was not invisible. I was just hidden behind fear. One rainy afternoon, Meera and I were sitting near the college canteen. The rain was soft. The wind was cold. She looked at me and said, "You've changed, Aarav. You smile more now. You talk more." I felt shy, but I answered honestly, "You made it easier for me." She shook her head and said, "No, I only showed you what was already inside you." Those simple words filled my heart with warmth. For the first time, I believed in myself. For the first time, I felt like I belonged. Life taught me something powerful. Even in a world full of people, we can feel completely lonely. We can walk through crowded streets and still feel unseen. But loneliness does not mean we are empty. Loneliness means we are waiting, waiting for the right connection, waiting for someone who understands our silence, waiting for a moment that reminds us we matter. I learned that connection begins with small steps: a smile, a simple hi, a gentle gesture. Sometimes we wait for others to notice us, but sometimes we need to notice others first. Meera helped me understand that belonging is not loud. Belonging is quiet, warm, and patient. It grows slowly, one honest moment at a time. And the biggest lesson of all, even when you feel invisible, you are not alone. Reaching out, even a little, can turn loneliness into belonging.